Hey everyone, Temporal here, and for this session we are reviewing a Silver Genji. If you guys are enjoying the content, please do like and subscribe, as that helps out quite a bit, and I really do appreciate that. Or if you are looking to get coaching yourself, you can join my Discord in the description below, see what rates look like, see what sort of promos, special events we have going on, all that good stuff.
Must violence always be the solution?
Yo, greetings. Hello.
5,
Okay.
3, 2, 1. Attackers in.
Opening with the deflect, sure. You have an angle. Make it deeper, play window. Come on, make it deeper. Go play over here. I believe in you. Look at that Reinhardt that you'll be able to bother. Look at the cover that you'll have against these guys. Look at the Ashe that you'll be able to bother. You don't need healing right now. You're not like getting a mercy damage boost or anything. There's no reason to be here. No, don't go out here. I mean, you can, but the window worked. Okay. Are you going to start on the Ashe or the mercy? You're going to start on the Ashe. Okay. Unfortunate, you missed the critical secondary there. We got too big a rewind. Let's go like that. Am I the only one who ever sees the start of the video? It seems to be impossible. I give you guys a little bit of time. I don't post it in the... I don't ping the watchers and then immediately go. I generally give you guys, I don't know, 45 seconds to 3 minutes, something like that. Ah, there was always an advertisement. Okay, well, what you're missing, Zax, is you're missing me saying, hey, you know, this is a video. We'll be reviewing a silver, mostly Genji. They're also going to play some McCree and Symmetra. You guys should like and subscribe. Again, you guys should like and subscribe. If you want coaching, Discord in the description below. There you go. You got it. Okay, so you went for that. And this is definitely a higher risk, higher reward play. I don't think the risk is too high. I think this is reasonable. I think your team is set up. Your team is in a place where they could conceivably be pushing. You lined up your shot for I'm going to hit triple headshot. Then I'm going to try to hit triple headshot again because they specifically have the mercy pocket. So I'm actually okay with this. But I want you to like immediately know, like immediately, you're like immediately ready to flick and dash over here if this Ashe turns on you before you're ready to hit the finisher. Because this is okay with me. You're going over in here on someone who's not paying attention to you, even if her mercy's paying attention to you, even if her mercy is probably shouting in comms, Ashe, look, she's probably not in comms. That's for you, Zax. If you can hit your triple headshot, dash, melee, whatever, sure, you'll get your elimination. But, unfortunately, what happens here is you whiff these, and now it's over. It's over. You're not going to get this elimination anymore, so you either pop deflect and work your way over here if they look at you, so, you know, if they look at you, you pop deflect, or you dash up over here and now play from here. Like, those are basically your options. Those really are your options. This, not so much. She's been healed to full. They're paying attention to you. You're in their face. You can do this, but like now that deflect needs to go up. That deflect needs to go up now. This doesn't work. You don't have enough damage done to them. You can't just be like big, massive people. I hit dash. This doesn't take you out of the fight enough. Like, yes, hopefully you're going to pop your deflect and then work your way over here with your deflect and get the health pack and then pepper them from over here. But we don't really want to dash our way and still be in the fight. So if this isn't immediately a deflect, it's not. Good. That's making the best of it, but we're really not looking to just dash for generic damage like that. Like, unless you saw that your own team had thrown something in there, like a TNT, like a rock, like a fire strike, something, we're not just going to go for a dash for maximum damage dash. It's really not the thing. We need our dashes to get us resets or to get us out of the fight. And this isn't quite out of the fight, because he can rock you to cancel this deflect. And now you're sort of going like, well, I can't really make a play until my dash is back. Sure would be nice to potentially be able to dash on this Moira. Good. Fine. You could have dashed her, but that's fine. Give us more warning to watch out to get snacks. Okay. Okay. That's fine. I can give you guys a little more warning. It's not about warning, though. It will not help. I saw announcement in Discord and was smashing F5 like crazy and still missed starts. It would help to start stream and just be 1 minute on main Overwatch stream. No, I can't do that, Zax, and the reason that I can't do that is what I do with these videos. These videos go straight from being a stream to being a video that's possible for someone to watch. And what happens in the YouTube world is it's actually pretty significantly about what percentage of your video watch time happens. And if I do a 1 minute just dead space here, I will have way too many people just leave. Not the people watching it on stream, but the people watching it in the future as a video, and it will destroy YouTube's willingness to recommend my video, to put my video in feeds for other people. So, like, I can't do that. I would have to, if I did that, I would have to then, like, take the video down and put the video back up then as a video with this edited out. And I'm not currently willing to do that because literally pulling the video down, even if I record and stream it at the same time so I don't have to pull it down, even if I go, okay, now I'm going to edit this, now I've made my edit change, now I'm going to reprocess it to change it to a format that's actually happy to upload to YouTube, and now it's going to rerun its finishes, etc. Like, that adds a ton of time for a product that is not really better unless I'm doing a bunch of other editing too. And if I'm doing a bunch of other editing too, or if I'm doing this, it's going to cause me to put less videos out. And I think that's a mistake. I think it makes more sense to do, hey, we're just doing more of these. So, like, I'm aware of this problem, but this is a problem in some ways with YouTube and in some ways with the fact of how YouTube does its retention, and part of why YouTube isn't the most streamer-friendly thing right now. Because if you do an intro, like you might see on Twitch, I'm familiar with the concept, of course, you destroy the willingness to watch by people in the future. They click out immediately. Yes, they could just jump farther, but they don't. That's very easy to do when you're on a computer. It's a pain when you're watching on a cell phone or on a TV, which some viewers are. So that's not something I'm willing to do. I'm not, like, trying to be mean about this. I'm not trying to be like, oh, I'm not responsive to what the audience wants. I'm just sharing this is the reality of the format with you. And it doesn't make sense for me to invest an extra couple hours into each video in terms of editing work, processing work, re-uploading work, nor does it make sense for me to do less videos. Like, neither of those really make sense compared to, hey, you guys are missing out on my telling you to like and subscribe and what the video is going to be, when my title, if you're watching as a stream, is what the video is going to be in terms of here's the rank, here's the hero. Okay. Okay, so back to, here we go. Fine. Your crosshair's low. Why is your crosshair low? Like, that's a Reinhardt. You're shooting at a Reinhardt. Why is your crosshair down just above his waist? That's a Reinhardt. That's a Reinhardt. Why is your crosshair at his waist? It's easy to hit headshots on Reinhardt. Bring your crosshair up. Val is a good suggestion. Just go back, watch the stream at 1.5 speed until you catch up to where it's live. There you go. Good suggestion, Val. And Turbo says you can rewatch it later. Missing a few minutes isn't fair. So here you are, you're doing this. You got the nano, which isn't amazing, but you're gonna use it. Okay. Yeah, you got the nano, so I'm gonna accept that. It wasn't great to get the nano there, it wasn't great to take that fight, but hey, you don't control it.
No one can hide from my sight.
Why are you aiming so low?
No one can hide from my sight.
Like, you could aim down if you were up in the air. If you jumped and were throwing down at him, your crosshair could be low, but your crosshair is mostly, like, at this level, which is too low, too low, too low, little better, still too low. Like, why is your resting place for this crosshair when you're fighting a Reinhardt so low? Okay. It's a reasonable place to dash. Even this crosshair could be brought up a tiny bit. Like, you don't need to aim, like, head-head, but you want to aim, like, neck-shoulder territory.
Keep the payload in motion.
Good. We're going to take our off angle. Go for our little flank maneuver. I wouldn't really have gone out here. I'd have been perfectly happy to play here. You, like, completely missed that this Ashe was here, and look at this bad situation that this puts you in. You wanted to play from here, where you had the cover. If you wanted to play up here, so be it, but that was a, like, I play up here and I throw shurikens from here, not a I go here, because now any sort of out is like, I have to go over here. I have to go over here and climb up here. Like, you've put yourself in this situation where if they turn and pay attention to you, you don't have cover available to you. You're counting on evasive movement, or you're going to force one of your own abilities. And sometimes you do that, but there's just no need to right here. You could have played from right here. Sure. Okay, so we're Genji. We see a Reinhardt and an Ashe. Well, this works, but you know what else would work? Oh, I could get up here. And from here, this would be so much pressure. I could walk over here and pressure the Ashe from here, pressure the Genji, pressure the Reinhardt, whatever I want to do from up here. And the Reinhardt can't do squat to me. He can try and throw a fire strike at me. That would be great. Instead, I'm going to walk into hammer range. That doesn't feel right. That doesn't feel right at all. Why would you do this? And now because you walked into hammer range and got hammered twice, you're feeling the need to dash over for this mega, but now you have no outs. You got no outs. Deflect. You have to pop deflect. If you keep your deflect facing him, his melee won't hurt you. Deflect. Okay. Deflect? Yeah. Are you farming blade or trying to win? You're farming blade. Okay, farm blade. Now you're trying to win again, right? Why? We see the Bob. We see the Bob coming at us, and we walk at him. He's like a big, heavy football tackle, and you're like a scrawny ninja. Let's not walk at him. He's gonna shoulder bump you a little harder, little bit harder. They can't heal you back here.
I need healing.
Okay, that's nice. They didn't have sightline. You just merely made them think about you, turn around for you when they couldn't get shots on you and you knew it, but okay. Why are you coming back up this way? Like, you see your team is over here, so your interest... Okay, because you're wanting to get more heals. That's why. Okay. And you've got Nano.
My
Again, not really the Nano Blade I want, but okay. Okay.
My ultimate is ready.
Try to coordinate these with your Ana. Try to coordinate these Nano Blades with your Ana a little bit better, because I don't really think you wanted this one. You don't have a good place to go to use this blade right now. You'd have much preferred to get the Nano when you were like up here and could have dropped or used your first dash to get it on Ashe, to like drop on the Moira, and then when she fades, dash after her type thing. Like, you really wanted this, because this Nano is forcing you into this situation, and maybe you called for it. I don't know. I don't have your comps. This is forcing you into all you can really go for is the Ashe or the Hog, and the Ashe will have her coach weapon to knock herself away. Yes, I see the Diva over there, but like, there's not good targets here. Okay, so you go like this. Did I say Diva? I meant Reinhardt. You go like this. You pull out your blade. Angle harder. You had to angle harder to the right, but okay. Why? Like, I think you're lucking into headshots here because they're on a lower ground than you. I hope that's not the case. I hope now you've adjusted and are actually trying to hit headshots. Okay. Just deflecting, sure. Genji, yeah. Not terrible. Close the angle. Close the angle. That's good. Why? Like, these are for sure your shots. I totally see the flux, and I totally see that the thought is I'm going to back up the flux, but these are pretty darn healthy tanks that just got lifted up by this flux, and there's going to be a giant Rhine shield in your face. So please deal with these people first. Remove the people that are already inside your team, not the people that are outside here. I totally understand the desire to follow up on ults, generally a good rule of thumb, but another rule of thumb is let's deal with the deepest angles, or let's deal with the threats inside our team, more threatening to our team, most aggressively positioned, rather than the people that are on the outside and less dangerous to us. So let's deal with these people right now. And you have a good angle to do that, and your team can heal you from here, which is also good. Can support you from here. I have no idea why you'd use dash there. Like, that's a feat. That's not an elimination. She's still got 70% of her health. I don't know why you think you can dash this. You could have maybe done another shuriken throw and dashed behind your shurikens, expecting your shurikens to hit, but I've got no idea why you dashed this. You're now in the middle of this. She's got nade healing right now. I don't believe that you're about to eliminate her, and now you're stuck here with just your deflect to get out. Just your deflect to get out here? No thank you. My outs are over here, all the way up here. My out options suck. I don't want to have dashed into this. You're just hoping that they can't hit you. Congrats, they can. They might have had to cheat and used a no-aim thing like Coalescence, or a low-aim thing like Coalescence, but they can do it. We really want to be our dashes to be, our dash either gets the elimination within half a second or less of when we use it, or our dash takes us to safety, takes us to the edge of the fight, out of the fight. So like your dashes up to here I'm not complaining about if you then turn around and rain shurikens and there's no one on top of you. Now, if you dash to here, you immediately then get dashed on. That's going to be a little annoying, but in general, you're dashing up out of the fight and you're in this position and you're not too vulnerable to things up here. So I'm fine. Or if you dash back to your team, I'm fine. Or if like the opponents were here and your team was fighting here and you went, aha, I'm going to dash through the opponents, not get an elimination, but finish here and then be able to go in, you then be able to throw shurikens in, close the angle, go over here to get support, that would be fine. But I don't want to dash into the opposing team and not get eliminations. I really don't. Not if my dash finishes me and their team. This low aim! What are you doing? Why? Why are we there? If his shield drops, I want headshots. He's a very big hero. Headshots are not hard on him. Bring the aim up. Okay.
Keep the payload in motion.
You see that she's weak, so you go try for it. You don't get damage on her, which makes this tough. Good. Deflect? Fine. No, don't force it. Why do you think you can force this? I know it's like, oh, I'm out of the fight and the health back, but you didn't need to force this. You could have just been like, ah, yes, I deflect. She didn't do it. Fine, now I peek over here, and my team can support me from here. I can pepper these guys in the back. If she does her shift up thing, I'm not going to fight her with half health. I'm going to look to get out of this fight. Like, this was silly. It was not actually safe to go for that health back. Oh, these... Again, I don't know what the Ana situation here is, but like this is when you want to get hit with your nano. This right here. And if you needed to not dash straight across, but dash a little more up for her to give her the sight line, so be it. But these guys are getting so much lead time, such a warning that the nano blade is coming with how early these nanos are coming in. Sure. Greeted that a little too hard. You want to be behind cover when your deflect's in. So you should have been angling into cover, be like, I'm doing this, and I can keep aiming my headshots at you as I'm closing the angle, and my deflect ends, and I'm behind cover. And I'm behind cover, and my deflect ends. Either way. In that situation. It's fine.
The barrier no longer exists.
Name.
Huh. That would not have been my recommendation. If you want to use deflect, fine with me. Totally fine with me. But I don't think I want to push him here. Because my deflect is not going to last as long as his whole hog. And I want to make sure that, again, I can close the angle. I can do something to be safe when this deflect ends. That's what I want. This deflect ends, and you're just lucky he's not aiming at you. Really, you are. Because he could have absolutely given you a really rough time, and there's not much you could have done about it. And now you're here, and you're like, I'm going to dash, except that's not even close to an elimination on him, and now you have no cooldowns, and you're in the middle of the enemy team. The only thing that you have going for you is, hey, we have a Valk chaining in here. But you're in the middle of the team. You're not D.Va. You don't have impressive bulk. You rely on your cooldowns. You rely on deflect and dash, and other than that, you want to be playing outside. You want to be playing outside of the team fight, poking in. You don't want to be here without dash or deflect. If you dashed here and got your reset, and then could dash again and get another reset, and then dash again and get out, no problem. But you can't be here with no cooldowns. So low! Stop aiming at his ankles! His waist isn't much better. Little better. Still a little low of his shoulders. Oh boy. I don't really want to be pushing this up main in the first place. I want to be thinking about, let me push in from my angle. Let me push in from my angle. Like, I'm Genji. I have double jump. I have easy access to this. I have wall climb. I have easy access to this. Maybe I even pop through here and through a couple shurikens to hard turn people. Put a little bit of pressure on Anna when she's not paying attention, and then she's going to be like, ooh, do I self-nade? Do I run back to go get heals? Do I just play more conservatively and contribute less offensively because Genji pressured me down even just 50 health? Oh, those are all good things. I don't want to be here. I don't want to just play behind my diva. That's not a Genji position, especially not when my diva's doing a Reinhardt impersonation. No! No, I do not want a shield break. I want to stand up here and go, let me pressure the Ana. Let me pressure the Ashe. Let me throw shurikens into the head of the Rein from above. A late decision. I probably would have said just either. So you had two options. Either you blade now, or now you can blade just fine, or you go, nah, we don't need the blade, we've already won this fight. And you just say, I'm going to be a nano Genji, and I'll blade to take out the respawns. But I don't blade now. I needed to blade like a second and a half ago, or I needed to blade probably about 5-6 seconds from now to deal with the respawns to sort of clean up. I'm not blading with just the tail end of the nano here to try to clean up tanks. No. Do I really want the hog? Or do I want to put a little pressure on Ana? I'm nowhere close to a blade right now. I don't need to blade farm. Little bit of pressure on Ana is going to cause her to huddle back, go away, and then we can actually get the elimination on hog.
60 seconds.
Why?
Fire.
You haven't hit any shots on her yet.
Yeah.
And you open with a dash? Why would you do that? Why would you do that? That's like offensive to the spirit of Genji. You've hit no shots on her, you open with a dash. No. And it's not like you open with a dash to take an isolated fight. This is right on point. She still has fade. Oof. We didn't like playing over here. We didn't like solving the Ashe problem. We instead decided that we were going to go like, oh, this is a thing that I saw someone do once, getting up in Bob's face and deflecting, so that's always what I don't want to do for Bob's. No, just make Bob irrelevant. Be like, I'm going to go fight the Ana over here where Bob can't see me. I'm going to have cover where I can just be like, Bob can't see me, and I'm going to pressure these guys out. Like, why? It doesn't have to be your job. Sometimes that's what you're going to do to deal with a Bob, but you don't have to deal with every Bob. Don't put yourself in needless risk, is basically where I'm going with this.
30 seconds.
Oh! We almost had Genji tennis.
I am ready.
Deflect it, and then he deflects it. Oh, he cheated. Out of bounds, Genji. Out of bounds. I don't care that you got an elimination. Out of bounds. We're still running it up mid. Think about how much more threatening we'd be if we'd come up here and been like, I'm going to throw some shurikens down. And then we could transition ourselves over to here. I'm going to throw some shurikens down, as opposed to just running this up mid. Use the kit that Genji has. A little late for this. Why are you so slow here? That's a Genji. Aim at him. Aim at the Genji. Aim at the Genji with your shurikens. What are you doing? He's on your screen. Aim at him. aim your crosshair at the Genji. You do not need to get close to him before you wanted to get the lead shot on him. Instead, he got the lead shot. You were aware of him way before he was aware of you, but you let him get the lead shuriken damage on you. That's wild. That is wild. Were you like taking a drink or something? Were you like taking a drink with your mouse hand while trying to move with your keyboard? Unfortunate. Good, good. You could have dashed that, but okay. You don't know her deflect status, but you can throw shurikens and immediately dash this. Yeah, that would have been fine. That would have eliminated her right there. Now you know her nade status and you know she's weak enough, and you can absolutely dash this. You dash this, you eliminate her, you hurt Moira, and then you dash out again, or you dash right back to reactivate cart. Like, up to you. Okay. So there's lots we see here for your Genji. We want you to bring your crosshair up, especially when you're fighting tanks. We really want you to get the quintessential Genji advice, which is please don't dash into bad situations. Please don't dash into the middle of the opposing team. You dash in unless if you're going to get an elimination, basically from the dash, but it could be, you know, from an immediate follow-up after it. But if it's not within half a second or you don't expect to get it within half a second, don't expect that you're going to get it at all because healing, other peel comes in, it gets too messy. Or it's a dash to an isolated location, or, excuse me, a location that's out of the fight, like the high ground we were talking about there, where then you can pepper in. And then the third piece that we'd have for your Genji would be please actually take like the high grounds, the windows, the things like that. Stop running it up main. There's too much running it up main. Too much of that. So those are the three things that we see for your Genji. I think you're going to play some other heroes now, like Sim and McCree. So I wanted to go over your Genji, but we'll see what happens. Some Sim, okay.
Attackers incoming in 30 seconds.
Is this going to be a respawn TT, or are you going to use it for something else?
Thank you, E54. It seems that you are growing from your original programming.
You're going to use it for something else. Sim Bastion straps, okay.
Following my program.
Works for me. I would hope that the Bastion is going to start with the forward location, not the backward location, if this is what we're doing, but I'm not going to get my way, am I? Bear's too far gone, yep. I need Desperado to make a facepalm compilation video, there you go. Those are too deep. So conceptually, yes, you would like to have sim turrets behind them, but they've already taken this space from you. So yes, it's annoying for them to turn and deal with these turrets, but you're actually more interested in your turrets, like right here and right like here-ish now, where they can't shoot them from here. Because if you throw them deep like this, they can actually get destroyed in the way in. They can get destroyed in the air. They can still technically get destroyed in the air on the way in here. But what you're interested in doing isn't so much like you putting sim turrets back here will either mean they'll turn and try to deal with them, or they'll just immediately run forward and try to fight you. And you don't want them to run forward to try to fight your unramped sim and Orisa team. You actually want, what you want is you want the turrets like here and here, so that if they push in, the turrets slow them down and mess with them as your Orisa is able to kite a little more and as you're able to ramp up. It's too late for these turrets. These turrets at the beginning absolutely made sense, but the turrets should be something that they push in and then get punished by. They shouldn't frequently. This turret is a reasonable turret in some situations, but this isn't your standard turret if they're already in this space, and I throw a turret on the wall that they have to turn around to deal with. That exists, but the better turrets are going to be these ones.
Defenses in place.
Like, did you see how effortlessly this turret was dealt with? And you have a cooldown from that. You have a cooldown from that because this guy was effortlessly dealt with. This turret wasn't that hard to deal with either. It's better than this turret, but it wasn't that hard to deal with. Whereas these turrets aren't immediately going to be effective, but they're going to be effective when you need them, which is when these guys actually try to push into you and you're not yet ramped. That was a good face palm at Bob Deflect. Yeah, we've got some good ones. Turret. Like, they're now angling this way, so we throw a turret like right here type thing. That's what we're thinking about. That's what we're thinking about. Not so much interested in that turret. Turret on the car right here. That's what we're thinking about. Cool. Melt him. Good. Don't need to get more aggressive. You're going to. Yeah.
Heroes never die. My work is not complete. My teleporter is
I don't think so. I don't think you're getting a recontest. Oh, sorry, I'm mixed up on teams. Never mind. Never mind. You're fine.
My ultimate is ready.
That was a weird place for the two turrets, but okay. Not sure why you weren't willing to push up for staggers a little bit there. Not deep, but like those were some long-range orbs, not even thinking about pushing forward. So, this turret is okay, not amazing. Again, this turret is going to help you more. It really is. Good. That's better. No, 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 no. There's a hog. There's a hog. What are you doing? What are you doing? Okay. Okay, so that's not actually how you lay sim walls down. I know this seems like some, oh yay, look how good our sim wall is. You get a little more credit for this than usual because you have a bastion, and in theory, this sim wall would have protected your bastion. But what you actually do is you would have brought that sim wall in closer to protect your bastion. So if your bastion's here, your sim wall really would have been more like here-ish territory. But generally with your sim walls, and especially if it's after the bastion's down, you don't do your sim wall like this if the opponents are over here and you're over here. What you do with your sim walls is if your team is like this, you set the sim wall like this. And then the opponents are over here and over here. And whatever opponent is focusing you, or whoever's paying attention to you, you can just go between the two sides of the sim wall. I'm over here. Oh, you guys adjust to get to this side to be able to shoot at me. I don't like that, so I adjust, and it's just a step back to this side. And then you guys have to adjust and get back over here. And that doesn't bother you because it increases their TTK, time to eliminate you, by quite a bit as you're able to sort of jump back and forth based on when you're under pressure between the sides on this wall. But this isn't slowing down the healing that you're getting at all, nor is it slowing down your time to eliminate on them whatsoever. And really, if you can break up burst, you win in Overwatch. Like, it's burst that is most of the threat, and if you can break up burst by having your wall like this is going to work better for you. Now again, you had the bastion, so I'm okay with a wall like this, but I really would have preferred to bring this in, and the reason you bring this in is so that it's harder for them to walk through. And B, you really want the bastion to also be able to, you want to be able to use this wall even if it's in this direction with the forward and back if it comes to it, rather than just the hard wall, unless you're abusing bastion. But even if you're abusing bastion, if they come around, they rotate around like this, it sure would be nice to be able to jump to the other side of the wall. Like that. If the Reinhardt comes through, again, they threw a bob, and the bob goes through it, and it would sure be nice to have the option to go, well, I can step through the wall, but this wall's way too far forward to protect you from the bob as even an option. It's a loud microwave. Now on to Kree.
Justice ain't gonna dispense itself.
Oh no, Crosshair's gonna go low, isn't it? Yeah, it is. You're gonna be very unhappy when this shield breaks. Better. Now you can tuck in the library if the shield breaks. So, if you're worried about someone here, and you're worried about people here, wouldn't the better spot to be just be here, where it's a smaller angle between the two, as opposed to the sine chord of extreme angle between the two that you have here? Yeah, it would. I believe. Interesting reload.
Special attack.
I'm on my way.
You really can't delay at all on your immediate fan follow-up, and if you can't aim if you don't have an immediate fan follow-up, you're gonna have to aim it. You're probably better off just taking the individual shot against Moira's. Same is true for tracers, really. If you're gonna have to spend real-time aiming after the flash, you're better off just taking, trying to get a headshot, rather than emptying your clip for a fan that they will fade or blink or recoil out of. Did Roadhog just grief his Reinhardt?
It's high time.
You're here. Your feet are on that piece of the tile. Your feet are in front of that piece of the tile. Yeah. The Roadhog knocked you out of the shatter so that you were able to pull the trigger on this. That's kind of funny. And then the Reinhardt goes down that had a solution to you. His team still wins, but it's kind of funny.
This would have
I'm sure it wasn't intentional. I'm sure he wasn't going, oh, I'm doing this to get my Reinhardt eliminated. But it's funny.
Supercharge jacket ready to be deployed.
What are you here? What are you here for? Whoa. You let that hog get way too close without you having cover available. You have to tuck yourself back here as that hog is approaching. And then you can work yourself up here, where you've got cover options, You can't just be in the open like that. Way too in the open. That is a lot of assists. Halt, sleeper nade, boost, flash. 4 assists on that Bob elimination. Dang. And we're not just talking damage. We're talking things that count as assists for that. What are you doing? What are you doing? Okay, fine. Why are you wandering back into the open here? We have to either decide, are we enforcing this corner? Are we pushing up to feed on cart to just stop the cart from moving and then getting a respawn and, you know, taking a real team fight? Or are we backing up to a different corner because we don't think we can hold this one? Which are you doing? Now it looks like you were backing up, but at first you were going forward there. No roll? No roll flash to try to stop the hook?
It'll take more than that.
Angle left. If your team is set up like this and your bastion is right here, you want to threaten a different angle. So they're worried about that as they come in. They're like, oh, we have to deal with that Kree. If we just push at the bastion, we'll get farmed by the Kree. We'll get farmed by the Kree. Get a better angle than this. And it'll also mean that TNTs meant for your team don't get you. Better angle. Team with more and bigger angles tends to win at game called Overwatch. I'd really prefer you to be in the horseshoe room. Like at this point, this is where you'd be. And you wouldn't shoot at them the whole time. You'd wait until they sort of advance to here. You could shoot at them from here the whole time, and then as they advance to here, you'd wait, and then you'd open the angle as they're trying to push your bastion, and it would be like, oh, I'm shooting you in the side. That's how you'd play this game. Cool. Good. I'm glad you reloaded first. Almost. Just too much shields. Just go to cart. Yeah. Are they going to do it, or are you guys going to stall? Still anybody's game. Now it's their game. Get the Ash. If you can get the Ash. No. Okay.
Victory.
Okay. As Genji and Kree, you need to use your off angles. With Kree, it's off angles like this and this when your bastion is set up here. As Genji, it's off angles like this and this when your team is here and here. Use your off angles. Use your off angles. Both of those heroes require that. McCree takes longer to take his off angles, so he's sort of going to get shallow off angles. Genji has wall climb, so he's going to get vertical, and double jump, so he's going to get vertical off angles. That's how the heroes work. That's fine. That's the first thing that we want to do. The second thing, and this applies more to Genji, but it applies to both of them, is bring your aim up a little bit. Up a little bit, especially against those tanks. Even in silver, there's no reason you can't be trying to get headshots on the tanks. That's what we're looking to do. We go like, oh, right, there's tanks. We can go, hey, shoot at like the neck shoulder level. You'll get headshot credit a lot of the time. Sometimes you'll get body shot credit. You're not going to miss very often. Or if you miss, it's not shots that you know, like they're not terribly... It's not like you're going to miss a ton like if you're aiming at the tippy top of their head or their head. If you're aiming it directly at their head, there's a lot of room to the left and right and up diagonal ups that you can do it. If you're aiming at like the neck, well, this is good. Down a little is good. Down to the left, right is good. All of that is fine. So aim for like the neck shoulder height. And on some heroes like Reinhardt, you'll just hit them in the shoulder if you err to the left or right. So that's good. On most heroes, in fact, that's true. Okay, so that's what you're really looking for. Those are like the two things that are generics for both of them that actually matter. With your Genji, your nano blades are super weird, but I'm not going to talk too much about that because I don't know if your Anna was like forcing you to blade with those. She obviously can't actually make you press the button, and you probably on that last one would have been better not pressing the button until the cleanup of sort of the next wave that came out, or pressing the button immediately. Um, is there more I want to talk about? No. Then we get into your sim, and I talked about your wall, but it's not super relevant. The real relevant thing on your sim was, hey, set up the turrets into place that they're going to push in and fight. So if you're here, you'd set your turrets up here, knowing that they're going to push in type thing. You wouldn't set your turrets up back there because those are too easy to clear. Like, yes, if you have a ton of turrets available to you, you can throw a turret back here, but those will get eliminated too often when the enemies are standing right here. Those will get eliminated too often while they're being thrown in on the way in. They're also easier for angled supports to clear without taking too much distraction from the team. Those aren't as good as this right here. And you need this right here to slow the team down when they actually push in, to break their actual aggression. Remember, we're trying to break up burst is what we're doing. And this is good for that. This is a little less good for that. Breaking up the burst slows them down at the right time for you to ramp up your beam to a level 3 and just melt them with sim power. So that's really what I'm going to give you from this in terms of things to focus on. What we're going to think about with this is we're going to try to improve on one of these things, like taking angles. They differ a little from McCree and Genji, but you still need to take them on both of them. I want you to use something like 5 to 15% of your brain power while playing the game, while playing your competitive matches, to focus on this thing, on, hey, I'm taking my angles. Should I have been on an angle in that fight? Should I go take an angle between fights? Do I need to be deepening my angle during this fight? I want you using brain power for that, and I showed you a bunch of good angles on the way through. I want you doing that. Taking those angles. That's going to be the first thing I want you to focus on. And you might have to do this for 5 games. You might have to do this for 50 games. You might do this somewhere in between. But you shouldn't forget on game 3 or game 6 what you're focusing on. Because this isn't like you use 100% of your brain power 5 to 50% of 15% of the time. This is 5 to 15% of your brain power while playing. So like it's one of the processes that is running in your brain effectively. And it's not 50% of your brain power either, because then your play will just be bad and it won't really work. We're using, 5 to 15% of our brain power to focus on this. And once it's locked in and it's part of our autopilot, that's when we move on to our next thing, which will be bringing our aim up a little bit. And then we'll focus on that and we'll make that a habit. And that's what we're working on. That's how I want you to work through these things. One at a time, 5 to 15% of your brain power. Keep it somewhat in focus, not like 30 or 50% of your brain power, but like 5 to 15% of your brain power. If you perform a little bit worse because you're using brain power that would have otherwise been used on tactics on this, that's okay. If you're playing, if you lose a couple extra games, so be it. You're locking in this habit, and once this habit is locked in, you'll start to play better. And then you won't need the brain power for it anymore. And then that brain power will be available to work on this next thing, or to go back to tactics, whatever the case may be there. But keep stacking these habits one at a time. That's how you get better at Overwatch. Okay. If people have questions, go ahead and throw them up in chat now. If people are enjoying the content, please do like and subscribe, as that helps out quite a bit, and I really do appreciate it. Or if you are looking to get coaching yourself, you can join my Discord in the description below, see what rates look like, see what sort of promos, special events we have going on, all of that good stuff. I'm not seeing anything else comment-wise, so we'll give you guys another 30, 45 seconds here to figure out if you want to put something up there. I think we're probably good. If you guys are looking to catch these live so that you can ask questions, the best way to do that is to, in my Discord in the description below, go to the Get Notifications channel, and then you can react in there for Get Notifications to get the watcher role, at which point you will get pings when I go live, and then with those pings, you can see, is this a VOD review that I want to tune into? Is this a discussion about mentals that I want to tune into? Is this a discussion about reviewing a Hammond guide or a McCree guide or whatever that I want to tune into? Is this, you'll get pings showing that we're going live and seeing what the topic is, and you can choose if you want to be here to ask questions or not, or if you just want to watch it later. All that good stuff. About neckhead height, Karku's review of plus or minus hitbox diagrams is pretty helpful. Yeah, I could definitely see that being helpful for people. So you guys could certainly check that out. Search hitboxes for every hero or check the channel plus or minus. Okay. Okay. Makes sense to me. Makes sense to me. Well, I think we will call it there. Thanks, guys. Temporal out.